Hello everyone, welcome to the Concern podcast where we unpack political, social, economic and cultural stories shaping our world. I'm Emmanuel Taban. Now most interestingly, it appears as if every single day now, South Sudan is being taken slowly into an election mode. Especially right from the day when the president and the vice president and major signatories to the peace agreement had a close meeting, and from that meeting it was when they agreed that the country would not again postpone an elections, but they will have an election next year in 2026. Right from the day they had that meetings, things appears to have changed and the country appears to be taken slowly into an election mode. And it is very interesting that this is going to be the first election of the world's youngest country. I mean, the first election since her inception, very interesting one. But what I want to be talking about in this video, that yesterday the chairperson of the National Electoral Commission of South Sudan, that is Professor Abenego Akok, gave a very interesting statement that actually confirms that the 2026 election is unstoppable, and that we will actually have the elections no matter what. And things appears to be coming out very clear that we have no option, but the country is indeed going to have an election. Whether it is free or fair, that is a matter of another debate. But on this video, I want us just to give a little talk about the statement issued by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. But before we proceed there, if this is your first time watching a video in this channel, please subscribe, hit on the notification button, like, comment, and if the videos interest you, of course, share with your colleagues. It's a way of making this channel grow, and when it grows, it motivates us to make more videos back to back. And for those who have been supporting us, continue doing so. We're much grateful for your support. Thank you so much. And yes, as I said, that yesterday the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the body that is responsible for organizing, conducting and monitoring elections in the country, the chairperson came out and gave a statement that confirms that we will have the elections done in 2026 by hook and crook. I mean, to everyone it appears almost very clear that elections will happen in 2026, and there's no debate about it. So what the chairperson of the Electoral Commission said yesterday was, came out and confirmed that because the meeting that they had previously, the president and then vice president and the signatories to the peace agreement, they agreed to do some amendments on the agreement that will actually pave a way for an elections to be conducted, even without some of the prominent prerequisites being met, like the permanent constitution and population census be conducted. So yesterday the chairperson came out and said that the country will actually stick into the number of geographical constituencies that the country had in 2010. And that is what the country, simply because the reason why we're sticking into the previous past is simply because we haven't done population census, and therefore we have no idea how many people exist in the country and how many constituencies are we supposed to have. So that's why the country or the commission is actually relying on previous and outdated data, I would say so, because we don't know how many people are still existing in these previous constituencies. Some of them might have moved out because of the conflict. We never know how many we have actually killed, and so on and so forth. So yeah, but that's what the Electoral Commission has said, that we're sticking with the geographical constituencies of 102, which were there in 2010 when we had the 2010 elections. And that is a very interesting one. And when we look at the 2010 elections, here are the list of the constituencies according to each state. I will start with the Equatorial region. The Central Equatorial State in 2010 election actually had 14 constituencies. Eastern Equatorial State had 11 constituencies. Western Equatorial State had 8 constituencies. Jonglei State, including Pibor administrative area, will have 17 constituencies. And then that is the highest number of constituencies a state had here. And then Unity State plus Ruweng administrative area will have 7 constituencies. Upper Nile State will have 12 constituencies, and Lake States with 8 constituencies. Northern Bahr el Ghazal State will have 9 constituencies, and Western Bahr el Ghazal will have 4 constituencies. And Warab state plus ABA administrative area will have 12 constituencies. So these are the number of constituencies that each state will have, and totaling up to about 102 constituencies. But also, when we look at the 2010 election, we'll realize that the National Legislative Assembly was elected in the 3 electoral systems. One, we had 102 representative of the 102 constituencies elected through the first past the post electoral system, where the person with the highest number of votes becomes the representative of that constituency. But also we had about 25% of the number of constituencies, number of elected representatives, 25% of the positions were actually reserved for women. And that is through the closed list proportional representation, because we have always heard about the 20% women representation in parliament and all this. So in 2010, we had this number of positions reserved for women, but also we had the 15%, which constitute about 25 seats that were given to special groups as well, and that totaling up to about 170 positions, and that is in the 2010 election. So we might have the 102 constituencies that are electable, confirmed, and we will also have the 25 constituencies that are reserved for women, and then the 25% constituencies, which actually constitute 43 seats, and then the 15% which constitute 25 seats reserved. So in total, we might have 170 representations in the parliament. So that is about the statement issued by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. I mean, it's very interesting that the country is actually getting into a very serious election, and I bet you that in the very few weeks or days to come, we will probably see, just like the chairperson promised, that the Electoral Commission is going to come out with the full number of constituencies, and I think that will actually usher in the interest in people to actually start maybe weighing themselves if they are capable of contesting in these constituencies to run for these electable positions in parliament and also in other levels. And that's a very interesting one, and I just can't wait to see how this is going to be, especially given that this is the first kind of thing happening in a republic like South Sudan, the world's youngest nation. So it's quite going to be a very interesting move, very, very interesting one. So thank you so much, and this is my take regarding the statement issued by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. And yeah, before we close today's episode, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Wanit.co. If you've been planning to build a website but the cost has been holding you back, Wanit.co makes it affordable and stress-free this time around. Whether you are an individual, a non-profit organization, or a business, Wanit.co designs professional websites starting from as cheap as $250. Individuals can actually launch with a starter website of up to 7 pages and a free email, or choose an advanced option with unlimited pages, a professional portfolio, and branding support. For non-profit organizations, they can select flexible packages from basic websites to premium solutions with e-commerce features and ongoing support. And for business companies, Wanit.co delivers company-ready website with hosting, staff training, and multi-link options and online stores. And the best part of it is actually that you can build your dream website within your budget. Wanit.co is an affordable, accessible, and professional partner. And to get started, you can actually visit Wanit.co or email them at info@wanit.co, or you can get in touch with them through their WhatsApp number at +1 226 504 3322. Wanit.co, proudly affiliated with Jobs to Apply. And if you're wondering of what I'm talking about, here are some samples of website created by Wanit.co. You can see them right here.